Welcome to In Conversation with MANWAR podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Do Not Be a Bystander campaign. You can join us in raising awareness about bullying by visiting the donotbeabystander.com, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay informed about upcoming episodes. Today's participant is Sifat, a remarkable individual who exudes a solid passion for eliminating bullying and creating a safer community for everyone. Today's conversation with Sifat revolves around the profound significance of acts of kindness and their impact on individuals and society as a whole.
Welcome to our Bullying Awareness podcast. I'm your host, MANWAR. Today, our guest is Sifat, who is ready to share her thoughts and insights about the topic, act of kindness. Welcome, Sifat. Thank you for joining this conversation today.
Thank you so much, Manwar. It's an honor to be a part of it.
You're welcome. So, Sifat, to me, act of kindness can take various forms, from small gesture like giving compliment, holding the door for someone, or offering a listening ear, to more significant actions like volunteering for something, donating for a charity, all these kind of things, or helping those in need. So this is the essence of kindness, lies in its intention to create a positive impact, and that is a act of kindness. So what about you, Sifat? How do you define the act of kindness, and can you share a recent act of kindness incident or story, or anything that you have witnessed or experienced with us?
Thank you so much, Manwar. You have beautifully defined what exactly act of kindness is. So if I tell my take on it, I just say it in one single line, is that going out of your way and doing something that you wouldn't in a normal situation. For example, we human beings, whenever we're doing something, we always think that this is an investment which is going to give us a return. But an act of kindness is something where you do something selflessly, unconditionally, and not thinking about what return my time or my effort is going to have me in return. I don't think about that. And that is exactly what act of kindness is. You don't think about what is going to bring to you. Rather, you just do it because you want to do it selflessly and unconditionally. And that's what exactly act of kindness is. So if I tell a very recent experience of mine, is that I recently moved to UK, and it was very difficult for me to actually get accommodation from living in another country and looking in another country, because you don't even know whether the home that you were seeing, whether they were genuine or not, and you have to pay the rent in advance. So it was very difficult to understand whether the ones I was looking was right or not. And I had someone in the UK who was a friend's friend. He was not even a direct friend, a friend's friend. And they had their work, they had their other responsibilities, but still they made time. And the house that I looked for, they went to that place, looked at for me, and confirmed that, yes, it's a genuine one, you can take it. So, they didn't have to do that. It's not going to give anything to them in return. But they understood my situation. They understood that, yes, if they do this, it's going to help me a lot. And they went out of their way. They did something without thinking about its return on them. And that's actually something which is the best example of an act of kindness.
Wonderful. So lots of people do not understand that. So why do you think this is so important?
It is very important, because firstly, and the most important thing is that if everyone can become kind, the world becomes a happy place and a better place to live in. For example, if I do an act of kindness to you, you get motivated and you do the same to another person. And that is exactly what the impact of an act of kindness is. It multiplies. It keeps on going. So whatever I'm doing, it will have a ripple effect. And this ripple effect is going to make the entire planet a beautiful place. And it's just very important for us to live in a harmonious way. We all want to be just happy. So it doesn't harm to just go out of your way, and you don't have to do a lot. I'm not asking you to give a lot of huge amount of charity, but just doing small gestures, it has a lot of impact, and it just makes someone happy and makes the world a better place to live in.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Sifat. That was a wonderful answer. And I totally agree with you. Act of kindness create a positive cycle of goodness. What you just said, ripple effect that benefits individuals, communities, and society as a whole. So, now I would like to ask you, can you tell me some creative or unique ways to show kindness to others?
Just as I said before, you don't have to do a lot of things to just be kind. You can just make small, simple gestures that's going to act as an act of kindness. For example, when you're just sitting in a bus and you see some elderly person standing there, you just get up, give the person your seat. That's an act of kindness. When you're going by and you were opening the door, you see someone behind you, you keep the door holding. That's an act of kindness. Small gestures that does not harm you in any way, but puts a huge smile on the other person is an act of kindness. And, for example, if we keep on checking on our friends, how they're doing, and like helping our colleagues when they have just a new person just entered the team, they're suffering in understanding the company organization objectives, how it works, you just go and help them because you also were once in that situation. And if you can help them, it just makes their life easier. Helping a teammate in a group project in a university who are struggling with understanding the work, that is an act of kindness. Checking on your old relatives who are, because we are so much fast paced in our world, we just forget checking on up our relatives. But if you do that, that's also an act of kindness. Every small things that we do, not harming us but keeping a smile on others, is an act of kindness.
Yeah, I agree with you. Excellent. Thank you so much, Sifat, for having this conversation with us in our podcast.
Thank you, Manwar, for having me.
So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Before we wrap up, I would like to remind our listeners that there are several resources available to help individuals dealing with bullying. The government of Alberta has a bullying helpline, which is 1-888-456-2323. Bullying is a violation of human rights. Under no circumstances, bullying is acceptable. As a community, we have a shared responsibility to take a stand against bullying and refuse to be a bystander. Thank you for joining in conversation with Manwar Khan, and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.